So something like that. But in Uganda, what we call a mizigo is something different, or one room place. It is a one box room, small, probably 8 by 8, and it's got a veranda outside, a small veranda running across. And that's where you cook from, wash your dishes. It's a humble life. So that's where the pastor was living. But he had big dreams and was promising the lady pastor that if you get married to me, I'll get you on those planes. You fly as many times as you want. I'll buy you that car. I'll build you a storied house. And the wife really stood all those promises until one day he actually got her on the plane. Now they are living in that storied house he was dreaming about, because when he went off to America and preached, there's this person who said, "What did you promise your wife?" I told her that I'll build her a storied building, but right now things are not yet okay. But I know 10 years down the line, we've not yet got it, but we'll get it. And the American was like, "Oh my goodness, how I can do that for you? Find a piece of land and get started. I'll build that dream house for you." And now they are living in a really nice house. So there's what we call loving someone who is broke but ambitious. They've got these big dreams. Now, those two things are different. And trusting a person who lives on dreams is not so easy. But people do it and hang in there. And very few, but those who hang in there really succeed at times. And there are those again who are built on dreams and nothing happened. I'll tell you a story just before we go deep into our talk today. There's this movie that I watched. Shaboya says, but sometimes people are unable to reach their ambitions, making it hard to trust. I know. There are also people who dream beyond. But again, that's what dreams are. There are things that you can't reach, but you would want to have. Again, if you're picking someone, you need to be like, picking this person is a dreamer, fine, but how hardworking are they towards getting to that dream that they have? If they are not hardworking and they have dreams, well, dreams just stay as dreams, and they drive their cars in their dreams, live in storied buildings in their dreams, and fly in planes in their dreams, and that's where it ends. So it's got to be also backed up with hard work. Now, I'll tell you a story just before we dive into our chat. There's a movie that I was watching about this couple. The man was a scientist, an engineer of some sort, and he dreamt of doing a battery that would survive and supply power to a wide piece of area. And so he built this battery, and all along, the woman studied, finished, started working. The man was bent on spending all his time, money, on building that battery. So he built the battery, and it got to a point where all his money ran out. And then the lady, because she was working, kept on funding the project. Every single time she would inject in money, to a point when the mother for the girl died and was left the house. And then she sold that house and gave the money, injected all that money in the man's business of a dream of building a battery. But still it wasn't taking off. The siblings came and said, "Mom left you that house, you sold it, gave it to this man who is taking you nowhere." They found her someone who was practical, who had money at that point in time. And that guy, she went off with him and left this one they had been together with for years while he was dreaming and working hard towards his dream. Now, one day, the man, while he was on his, end of the road, he met one of the girls he went to school with, and she was connected to this big company of inventors. What were the odds that someone you went to school with is now working in this company that picks on people with ideas? And so the girl helped him push the idea further. Cedric says, hello everyone. Hello, Cedric. Thank you for tuning in. Now, she met him and asked, "What about your idea?" And he said, "I have this battery. It can power the whole city if if this and this is done. And so he just needed someone to believe in him and fund him. They bought the idea, he bought part rights, and hi Jasper. And after he had bought after they had bought the idea, he became a millionaire just like that. And it was for a lifetime. Then the girl came back and he said, I remember for this dream to come to this much, this lady helped. So he got the money she sold the house for, gave it back to her with interest and gave her $2 million. But the house had been sold for $250,000. So he gave her $2 million for believing in him and for the money she had over the time injected in him. And the girl got wind that she is now rich. And he had decided to get married to this lady who helped push his dream and bring it to reality. So when they got married, the lady she had married was pregnant. She came after them, killed the girl, killed the man, because she said, you're living in my dream. Well, that's why in life there are lessons. There are those who have dreams that can really manifest to something. If they are working hard towards getting those dreams, it's a different thing. But there's someone dreaming of big things but doing nothing. You know, if it is going to school, they are not willing to go to school and learn. If it is starting something, they are not even willing to start it. All they are doing is just, hoping things will happen just like that. Well, that kind of a person is a lazy one. So there's a thin line between laziness and ambition. Because remember, a person with ambition is selling dreams, not, something practical that you can relate to. So that is that. Now, we are talking about dreams versus reality, yeah? And love versus lifestyle. If you're going to believe in someone who is broke but ambitious, it's like you're taking dreams versus reality, because reality is you need to pay bills. Reality is you need to pay for food. Reality is you need, to survive, yeah? Or you're dealing with love versus lifestyle. There is love, I love you, but again, there is a lifestyle where you have to spend. You're not going to spend love, are you? You're going to spend money. So those two puts it on a big scale for anyone. And ambition versus actual bills. Yeah? There's the actual bills and there's the ambition. Well, I'm ambitious, I want to drive a car, but there are bills at the moment. I'm pregnant right now. I need to go to the hospital. Well, yeah, you have dreams of getting me a car one day and not walking or trekking. Those two things are different. And Cedric says, I will stay on everyone. Okay, Cedric, we'll stay. We'll see. As long as you have on enough airtime or data, that is if it's what you're using. Otherwise, all those are verses. Can love survive the hustle phase? Because I love you fine, but can our love survive that hustling phase where, you have dreams, but right now we need money. You have dreams, but right now I'm pregnant and I need to pay for consultation at the hospital. I love you, but right now we need to eat. I love you, but we need somewhere to stay. That is the practicability about ambitions and, broke and having money. Does financial strain slowly choke romance? Those are questions that we are going to be dealing with. Does financial strain slowly choke romance? Because if you've promised me all these things, fine, and I accept you. You say I'm the queen, I'm your traffic lights, and you say all these nice things that people are telling each other to get them to like them or love them. After you've gotten past those words, there comes a question. Does financial strain slowly choke romance? Because then you get there and there's no food. Are you going to feed on love? The landlord is throwing you out of the house. Are you going to sleep on love? Those are questions, which takes us back to, can you love someone who is broke but ambitious? Yeah, that is our question for the day. And I hope you let me know who is watching and where you're watching from. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting. Grab a cup of tea. And she just says, but sometimes you just need to have faith in the person, even when they may seem to be no future. But again, yeah, there is that bit of faith. But remember, when the landlord is calling and is throwing you out, you cannot sleep on faith. You need the practical things to pay the rent. Yeah, so we ask again, can you love someone who is broke but ambitious? That's a great question and a great thing to deal with. So we want to know today, can you love someone who is broke but ambitious? I need to hear from you guys what your take is on just the intro that we've just introduced. Can you love someone who is broke but ambitious? I've given you my example on, ambition versus reality. Because, like I said, can you truly love someone who is broke but ambitious? We are talking about dreams versus reality. We are talking about love versus lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, much as I love you, I've got to, there are some things that I do. I do my hair, I do my nails, I need clothes, I need shoes. That is my lifestyle. I eat every this out. Can you keep up? Yeah, and there's ambition versus actual bills. Yeah, there's a gentleman that I know that rented an expensive place, and on renting, everyone was wondering, how can you keep up? Because renting is okay, but can you keep it up? Because it is so easy to rent somewhere today because you can afford it today, but can you keep it up? Otherwise, you pay today, and the next thing is you cannot stay in the same place. They are throwing you out. I don't think that is something that uh, is good. And TJ says, when the man is broke and you both struggle, let me read it here, somewhere close. She says, when the man is broke and you both struggle and succeed in the end, it is worth it, even when it didn't seem like it before. I know there's that if you survive the whole struggle period, but can you survive? Because the question is, can you survive? I mean, when the landlord is knocking and there's no money, the embarrassment of throwing you out all the time, the whole craving to eat nice food, but all you're seeing at the moment is just, commando as it is, or food that is normally not what one would want to have. Can romance survive? Yeah, that is a question that many would ask, and you wonder whether any kind of relationship can survive it. Like I said, uh, I'm open to hear from you. I need to know who is watching in and where you're watching in from. It's a live chat. Go ahead in the comment section. Let me know who it is that is watching and where you're watching from. Let me know your take on, can you love someone who is broke but ambitious? Like I said, it's a broad one, but hey, I want to hear your take on this one. And all this I'm doing because I'm waiting on those people that said would come on. And the moment they come on, we'll straight away go deeper. We'll dive deep into that topic, but I've laid the foundation. We're talking about love versus lifestyle, ambition versus actual bills. Yeah. You have ambitions. You want us to live in a storied building, but can you? And Lillian says, good evening, all. Good evening, Lillian. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. Now we go back to the question. Those of you who have just joined, I'll start again for those who have just joined. Hey everyone, and including Lydian who has just joined, welcome back to the podcast where real relationships meet real talk. Yeah, today's topic is one that many people avoid but affects more couples than we realize.